What's up, everybody? It's that time again, Biz Leaders Live. I'm your host, Rachel Blatt. I have a very special guest today. His name is Lou Ramirez. He also hosts a show very similar to this, Car Guy Coffee. It helps people in the car business stay positive because we can all, it's a grind out there and there's lots of things that are happening in the world that don't make sense to any of us, but we got to stay positive. We got to keep grinding and we got to continue to work for our success. So without further ado, we'll get this party started with Car Biz Leaders Live. Welcome, everybody. It's going to be a great show today. I can't wait to hear the gems from Lou Ramirez. What's up? All right, let's do this. Let us do it. So without further ado, let me welcome our next guest, Lou Ramirez. What's up, Lou? Where did you guys? Oh my God, you're funny.
What's up? I promise I'm smiling underneath here. What's going on, everybody? How are you? I'm so excited to be here.
Listen, I give you guys all the credit in the world because the masks are becoming a mandatory thing. And it's hard to breathe under those things after like 40 minutes, let alone 8 hours a day. So for those of us that don't know you that well, if you want to just introduce yourself and give us some love, and God, you got the best energy, my friend. You really do.
I'm excited to use this energy and come out here and pour with you. Thank you so much for having me here, Rachel. I am so pumped up and motivated. Car guys, car gals, and all you solutionaries out there, I am Lou Ramirez, the car guy of the Car Guy Coffee podcast, and I am excited to be here brewing solutions with you. My partner is just going to be jumping in here and probably making sure to share this around so that everybody knows what's going down. But I am so excited to be brewing solutions with other solutionaries like Rachel. And we are just some people that are problem solvers, having some fun, making sure that we dance a lot, laugh a lot, and really brew some solutions.
I think that is so important for people when everything out there is that's supposed to make you feel good about yourself. You know, the nail salons, the hair salons, the gyms, that you really got to have to figure out ways to feed yourself mentally. And it is so, it can be a grind out there, especially when you're getting hit with all this negativity from the media or from your family or from the car world. It's not easy out there for sure. What are some of the things that you do to stay positive besides dance and get going?
Well, first things first, what I always do to make sure that I stay positive and approaching my day, I'm going to need you to join me with it. It is 3 F's, which is our key mantra to help sure that we keep growing. And that is forgive, focus, fly. It is somewhat of a dance move. We teach it to young people everywhere that we go and other car guys and car gals. But our meetings start off all the time with all of our men standing up and doing these 3 moves. So join me.
I'll stand up.
Ready?
Forgive.
So we're going to wipe it off on 3. We're going to forgive, focus, fly on 3. 1, 2, 3. Forgive.
Focus,
fly. After that, after we forgive, focus, and we're flying everywhere, I then try to make sure that we're always trying to speak positivity. You completely believe that death in life is in the power of the tongue. So what you speak will actually manifest itself because we are people that create. We are people that can build with the power of what we say, and it affects everything. Right. So the main thing that we always make sure that we do is speak positivity instead of percolating problems. Right. There's enough people that are creating issues out there, and we don't want any of that. We want to talk about what's good.
Let's thanks for hopping on, Ron. Ron was on last week. He's a fun guy too. We had a blast, and there's lots of people out there. There's like 20 people watching us right now. So whoever else is out there that's not commenting, if you have any questions for our friend Lou, please bring it and we will rock and roll. So another thing that I wanted to talk to you about, Lou, is, first of all, that is a great message, because there's so many times when you get that like resentment thing going on, and then the next thing you know, you have to do like a stop at the stoplight, and your purse goes flying, or your coffee or whatever, because you were focused on that. You're focused on that, that ruminating freaking resentment. And I think that this is just so important to just forgive and forget and move on, and let's get down to business.
Well, you apply that to everything, right? I don't just say that inside of car sales, right?
Yeah.
That's your entire life. But if we were to specify the automobile industry, the last person that rejected you is the last person that rejected you, or the last person that didn't show up for that appointment. Don't hold on to that. Don't bear that weight, right? Or if it's you, if you're the one that messed up, if you're the one that didn't do the right thing the last time your manager said to do it, it all fell apart, or you screwed up your last deal, right? Whatever it is, forgive it. Get that weight off your shoulders. You don't need to carry that. And it's not going to help you fly where you're trying to go. Get that message, make sure that you learn something, and go forward. Focus on what the issue was.
Yeah.
Go from there, smooth sailing, you're flying.
Well, and not only that too, but if you just remain focused on your goals at hand, right? Like, here we go. Like, put the blinders on. Like, nothing's going to stop me from, doing getting where I want to go, And there's bad days. Trust me. I think we all have bad days out there. I know I'm having one. My dog passed away last week, and God, you can't find a puppy in this country to save your life. Listen, guys, I want a puppy.
Some golden doodles. I'm pumped up about that.
Which they're like, they're on like high demand right now. And
they're awesome. They're awesome dogs. It's the best dog I've ever had in my life. I love them.
I know. And like, they protect you, I feel like, from like evil spirits or something like that. I'm just like, it's nice to come home, and like, no matter how great or terrible you were that day, they love you no matter what. And I think
they're gonna forgive, right? They're gonna forgive no matter how long you let them sit there and hang out at the house. They forgive, focus, let's play.
Right. Right. Mine is like, I'm not going to get off the couch today. It's a dog's life, but that's all good. Do you, you have your own business. Tell me about how you kind of like, I know you have a partner and everything, kind of how you guys work together to become a success, how you kind of grew your business, how you kind of molded your processes to make some of that work. How did you guys take it from an idea into an actual business?
Well, it's a great question. So there was a lot of learning that we've had over the years, right? Fred and I have worked together. We've been in the same office together, on the same with the same marketing company together, with the same ships together. We both started at the same store together. So we kind of welded our families together. So Fred is family to me. At this point, it's more than just business and fellowship as far as that goes. He's really a brother to me. Our sons are absolute best friends, and they are, setting up their own future business plans as well. They want to be Ramirez Lennart's 2.0, right? They got these big dreams that they want to do, and you're going to see some awesome stuff come from them. We're excited because when it comes to flying a drone, we got us dads over here like, how do you do this? They walk up real quick, boom, 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 things fly all over the place. They know what they're doing. So again, we are welded together by more than just us. So we have roots, not in the car business, but in our lives. Our wives are very close. And so with that, all of the experiences, all of the things that we've been teamed up and learning and learned apart from each other. We then started to notice, hey, we got something really great here. I was brewing solutions here as a manager at this store, making things happen for people. And the excitement that I usually would come into the room with at the beginning of the day has people that just started working with me or not really knowing what kind of a person I am, always asking, hey, Lou, what are you on? And I would be like, I'm on Car Guy Coffee. You know what I mean? I'm amped, I'm excited, I'm uplifting, I'm shifting, let's go. So the concept of Car Guy Coffee itself kind of just came from the attitude and the approach to brewing solutions, right? But Fred called me one day because he wanted to do something. He was very engaged inside of what we were doing and training our staff and training our salespeople. And he's trying to find a way to grow as well.
Mm-hmm.
Fed himself so much great information, great knowledge, learned from a lot of great people. And as we are brewing together and having different company events and noticing that no matter what, we're going to always find a reason to laugh. We're always going to find something to have a good time, and we're going to be great and excellent at our job, right? We're going to bring that positivity. We're going to bring those high five moments. Fred called me one day and said, Lou, man, I've been thinking about this a lot. I kind of want to do something, but I want to do it with you. I want to start a podcast. And I was like, whoa, seriously? Because I want to do a podcast too. And I already got a name for it. And he's like, what? The Car Guy Coffee Podcast. And then boom, right there, we said, all right, well, we got to get together. We got to meet. We got to start talking about stuff. And we did that. So we got together. We brewed up a lot of what was on our heart, what we wanted to do, the message that we wanted to get out to people. Because a lot of people have technique and have things that are effective, things that work, right? No matter what, they have a science that works. But the art of having fun is something that is completely different than just being able to do the deal right? Making sure that you build an atmosphere of joy is something that we're striving for, as far as whether it's the music, the balloons, the attitude itself is what we bring to the table of positivity. So with this wealth of knowledge that we've gained from so many smarter people than us and me, I usually feel like the least smart one in the room, but I am not going to be outfunned, right? I am not going to not come with the energy and excitement. But we started to then talk about it a bit, talk about it a little more. We set a date for ourselves and when we wanted to have our first podcast. Had equipment. Fred made this incredible table. We put a whole bunch of stuff together, design, the art, everything came together. And we said, all right, and this day we're going to kick it. We're going to actually start. But we were practicing before, talking a lot about our philosophy, our thoughts, the things that we talk about on the show. We started speaking about back then just to make sure that we kind of got our flow together, right?
Yeah.
When we did that, we then said, hey, let's go. It's start time. We picked a launch date. We launched and on 1/20/2020, Car Guy Coffee became a podcast, and we have been here just making sure to brew solutions ever since.
I love it. I love it because I think right now everybody needs a little positivity, and what a year to get started too. I started this a couple months ago, and I really benefit from having people like you on because I get to learn things. What's up, Jordan Stupar in the house?
What's up, Jordan?
Thank you. Thanks for watching today. Please share out with your friends. That would be amazing. But let me just tell you that I think at the end of the day, when people are, there is so much going on, and there was a lot of uncertainty going on during, I think that's why I can't get a puppy. But honestly, like nobody knew if you could sell a car. Nobody knew that what was going to happen. Everybody was wearing like the full hazmat, like come near me. The news was just blaring it left and right. And I think, there's a time when, you wonder, like, is this what's going to happen? I think that stalls everybody because when you don't know, it just makes you kind of stop and go, what should we do?
What is happening? Right.
Yeah. How did you kind of get through that, by the way? How did you get through that yourself?
For one, I didn't go through it by myself. I didn't recoil. I had a battle buddy, and I had, of course, a great, incredible supporting family. But we also had a mission that we knew we had to get done.
Yeah.
Our entire concept is to brew solutions. So when restrictions started coming in and people telling us how we can do business, immediately all that I'm trying to do is think of a way to brew a solution, right? When we first got told we can't have contact with the customer, right? We physically cannot have contact with them. All that I know to do is draw up a storyboard. I do a lot of production. I've studied cinematography, and so I just went right to making an actual storyboard on what it was we were going to do as the process. We then implemented that process. We trained the process. We then made sure that our customers knew what that process was, and we put it out there, and we adhered to it. Of course, we adjusted. We did a little bit of shucking and jiving to make sure that we got our flow right with it and helping our customers out. but we made sure to put a process in place that was going to solve the problem at hand, rather than saying, hey, we got a big problem, somebody tell me what to do. Instead, we said, well, hey, let's brew a solution. So our entire company jumped on board. And really, you can come up with a process, you can come up with a way to do things, but we have an excellent team that executed, right?
Yeah.
Listen, they did what they believed that what we were saying was the best idea for the moment, and they executed. They put it together. And it was a lot of fun to see them rise in the process, because some of them made more than they ever had in their life, right? Some of them had the best months ever, and because they didn't get scared.
Right.
When you're leading people, if they see that you're scared, well, they're gonna.
Well, that's a good one.
Stuck in the lights too, right?
I'm guilty.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, there's so much that goes in with that.
Yeah.
But primarily, we didn't just stop and say, well, what do we do next? We stopped and said, man, there's a solution to brew. Let's think about it, right? Let's find a way to help out and still adhere to the law, to the safety. We don't want anybody getting sick. We don't want anything happening. We want to make sure that there's actual solutions coming out of this, and we're staying profitable. You know, our owner was very clear about saying, hey, it's way easier to get going at the pace you were going at before if you already have some momentum rather than a dead stop. Right. So that's all that I needed to say. All right, let's go. Come up with it. Let's go. Boom, here it is. You know, and we put it out there. Guys executed, and it's been fantastic.
Awesome. Let's say what's up to Ken Walls in the house, Jeremy Van Meter. Thank you guys for being on the show today, for listening to us. We always appreciate a little bit of love. Thank you so much. And just keep it out there, share it out. We appreciate that too. We can always use the views. Let's talk a little bit about, you know, helping people, because I think at the end of the day, there's a lot of that. I think that's where it's not like we're saving lives here, or we're feeding people. Like what we do, what's up, Kiefer? I think what we do is we provide a service. We get people into cars. We get, at the end of the day, it's not like we're saving lives, but I still think that there's a lot of reward in the car business. What are some of the rewards that you get just coming to work every day?
That is such a great question. The reward question, that's usually something that we're asking our guests too. The greatest reward really is on this side of it, from what it is that I do, is that we're able to help somebody have what they absolutely need in life, and have an essential commodity that they gotta have. But I enjoy, and my greatest reward while doing this here is seeing my actual guys, my car buying coaches, turn a corner in life in understanding that they too can do what it is that they believe is achievable. And when they start to see that, that becomes a great reward for me, because I don't come from money, right? I don't come from a place where it was laid out for me, and I'm not mad at anybody that has that, right? There's whatever opportunities that you have, make the most of it, you know? And there's so many great people that do that. But when coming into the car business, from soldier to sales, and the money went, whoa, I got a glimpse behind the door of what really making money looked like. And so when that happened, I started to, of course, believe in myself more. And once learning and mastering a process and a way to teach it, and then taking people that never considered sales and making them successful at this business and transforming their whole scope on life, that would be some of the greatest rewards that I've had in this business.
Yeah. And I think, and for me too, because I always believed that sales was like, when I was like 20 years old and I got kind of like, now let me just tell you, I've been selling my whole entire life. I was the #1 Girl Scout cookie seller.
Ooh, get some. Girl Scout cookies go.
But so I've been selling all my life, but I knew that when I got my first sales job, which was knocking on doors, that I knew that this is the only position in life where you get out what you put into it, and to master it. And then once, if you mastered sales, you could really go into any kind of direction you wanted to. And then for me, it's about finding the people that you want to sell to. So I was selling for a long time software, and I was bored out of my mind. And I was a great salesperson, don't get me wrong. But it wasn't with my people. And it wasn't until I came to automotive that I really found the people that I wanted to kind of be around, surround myself with, jive with. I can swear a little bit. You know, I don't have to be prim, proper, corporate. I don't, that doesn't fit this girl. So what are some of the things that like made you want to go into sales? How did you kind of fall onto it, or has it always been the car business, or what kind of just made you decide that, hey, this is something I want to do for the rest of my life?
Well, to jump into sales, I was processing out of the Army, and
I knew that when you said battle buddy, by the way. I just
yeah, that's what I was doing. I was processing out of the Army, and I was actually waiting for the post office to hire me. My stepmother was a postal carrier, and so of course she was trying to give me coaching tips. And I was, you know, coming from a government job. I didn't want to leave the beautiful bluegrass of Kentucky. My wife has family that's here, and we're rooted here, so I wanted to stick it out here. I'm originally a New Yorker. Your dollar stretches way further here in the bluegrass. So, and again, we had good family here, so I wanted to make sure that we dug our roots here. Our kids were growing up here. So doing that, I was waiting for a call from the post office while processing out of the Army. My PLDC, my leadership school commandant, who was the sergeant major of the post at the time, runs into me, and he reminded me of my stepfather a lot. He's a tall Italian. He's from Brooklyn. You know, he's got that deep accent. He's like, Ramirez, hey, how you doing? And he's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm processing out of the Army. And he was like, you're doing what? You're getting out of the Army? And at the time, I had some great accolades. I won many soldier boards, and I had I had a good career moving. But I wanted to get out, and I understood in the military, I saw a pay scale, and something clicked for me. There was an end to that pay scale. It stopped. You get to the top rank, and after this much time, right here, it's it. That's all you're going to make. And that box made me all kinds of nervous. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be inside of a box. You know what I mean? And achieve all of these great things, because going up in military, it's not an easy chore, right? It's not just something that they just hand you, right? You got to earn it and prove yourself. So knowing that I was going to be in that box, and that I wanted to break out and start my own business, start a few different things, I then listened to him say, hey, my daughter's working down the street at a car dealership. If you're really going to get out of the Army, you need to go do that. He's dealt with me a few times, seeing me do some event, and understood just kind of how I would talk and kind of pitch, right? He then said, hey, go there. I think you're going to do great, Ramirez. Well, having such a high-ranking person that I admired, and, you know, I stood before a board and answered a whole bunch of questions with him, and him telling me to do so and believing that I'd be successful at it gave me the confidence to check it out after I saw an ad. So he didn't just say that and then I ran down the street. I then saw a very great ad that said, hey, make this much money. It was about double what the post office was going to pay. I said, well, I can go do that. I've met the people. And from there on, it was history. When I got that first check, I was still in the Army waiting on that call. So I was in my out processing time. When I got that first check, I said, never mind to the post office. We're ready to rock. Let's do this. And from there on, I've been in sales. There was a small stint that I pulled away to try to recalibrate a couple things as far as some of the outreach that I do. And I jumped in with business to business, with cellular, and with Aflac. Once that happened, I learned a lot of things, made a lot of great connections, but I knew the potential that was in the auto industry still, and had a lot of success in it. Came back, actually started my first sale back in the car business was at an event at Adam Marburger's store in St. Louis at Auto Centers Nissan. Jumped back in like I never left. Came in, rocked the floor, led the team for the week, and said, all right, I guess I'm back, and kept plugging from there.
Well, let me just tell you, I think the car business is addicting. And I think what grinds people on this job, and what kind of makes the grass look a little greener is the hours, because we put in a lot of hours into this gig. Fred says,
What's up?
what up, Fred? Thank you, Fred, for the compliments. We appreciate it. We need it all the way. I need the love. But what I wanted to say was, like, when you're doing all that, and by the way, thank you so much for your service to our country. That's amazing. And I God bless you for that, because I don't look good with an AR-15. I mean, I can do like a little pistol or something.
Well, the military doesn't have AR-15s.
Good. I don't know my guns that well either. Just I know these guns.
Come on.
But I just wanted to say, like, it takes what it takes. And I think when you're in a position of you're grinding it out and you want to see the other thing, and sometimes it's good to get a different perspective about, what you want to do, who you want to do it with. And then the light bulb clicks on and you're like, yes, this is what we're going to do. And then once you make a decision like that, then you're like, okay, then everything can just kind of fall into place. Like, one of the things that is important for me is just just showing up every day. Like, that's important for me. Like, just showing up and making it happen, and whether it looks great or it doesn't, I'm here making the best out of it, and I think that's what. And then to have patience too, because I suck at that. Oh, yeah. What are some of the things that are hard for you to overcome, that kind of like, I still got to work on this?
Mine is patience. I'm a person that does get easily distracted. Ask my wife, ask my daughters, ask anybody. I can in a moment, right? Out of nowhere, I can be distracted. But I'm always juggling things, and my mind's kind of always going. So I'm always fighting for focus. So when I'm saying forgive, focus, fly, everybody, I say that because the biggest thing in the center of that is focus. And you have to fight for focus. If there's anything you can ever fight for, it would be for focus. Forgiveness, again, I'm forgiven much, so I want to make sure that I forgive and always give that. But the next thing is to make sure that you are staying focused. And that is the biggest area that I try to make sure to go on, because I can get caught up in many different projects. But when I do get focused on something, like if it's a car deal, when I get into car deal mode, I am locked in and I am not moving until we find solutions, right? So the biggest thing that I do struggle with is staying just focused for a moment. But that's some place that I continue to try to grow. Ultimately, I'm always trying to find a way to tweak myself on every level of anything that I do. But the biggest room in the world, folks, is the room for improvement. And I am always trying to find a way to get a little bit better at what it is that I do. We often will say, make sure that you grow 1%, at least, at minimum, 1% every day, because you want to be able to get better in all aspects of life. And Fred is always speaking the keep growing message, keep growing. And we fully believe that you can only keep growing if you forgive, focus, fly.
All right, let me just do this one more time, and then I want you to take us home, because you've had so many good gems. I want one more phrase. So let me just do forgive, focus, fly. Fly to your goals. Take us home and then what's up, Corky? Everybody that's on today, I appreciate you guys watching, and sharing it out to your friends. We really appreciate the love. Last words of advice, words of wisdom. Take us home, boss.
Okay. Well, for one, if you want to be Brewing Solutions, you need to get you some Car Guy coffee. But when you're Brewing Solutions, understand that a mentality to keep growing, you have to be pointed, right? You have to be intentional. So keep growing in excellence, or you're going to rot inside of mediocrity. If you don't have a hope inside of you that is greater than you, then you're more than likely going to find yourself failing, only because there's going to be many things that are going to come against you in succeeding, whether it's your sale goals, whether it's your relationships. But hope is always something that you want to be sold on and sell with. If you're a person that books appointments to sell cars or do whatever you do, whatever you're selling, right? You're always selling them on the hope that you're going to accomplish what it is that they're wanting to get done. So hope is something that needs to exude from you. And if you're going to ever slay the stigmas of the car business, you're going to slay the stigmas of salespeople, you have to make sure that you are actually living out what it is that you believe. A person is only going to be a believer in the person that by listening to somebody that believes, right? You can't achieve it unless you believe it. And sometimes you believe it before you achieve it. And in most case scenarios, you're achieving something that you only believed for way, way back. But when you took that first step of confidence, when you took that first step towards what it is that you wanted to achieve, well, that's when you start to see yourself receiving the great news, when you start to see yourself receiving the things that you believed for. But I'm a firm believer, I guess, if I can say that enough, right? I am a firm believer that you're going to manifest what it is that you put your heart into. Death and life is in the power of the tongue, and you have to constantly live your life trying to find that light. You'll hear Fred talk about it a lot. We'll talk about it a lot. Be the light. We are eternal beings, and we exude a light from us. We have a radiation. So make sure not just trying to make your life better, but that you're spreading love. You're upshifting, uplifting everybody that's around. Yes, you are contagious with your confidence. Man, that's what's inside of Car Guy Coffee is contagious confidence, right? Because you're a hope dealer. We are hope dealers. There's so many different words that we can put together.
I love it.
That are so much about the philosophy that we have, but we're trying to pour that out. We're trying to make sure that people understand they have greatness inside of them. And as a manager or as a leader, in any case scenario, you're only going to get out of your people what you put into them. You know, if you keep telling them how horrible they are and how much they can't do the job, well, guess what they can't do? The job, right? But if you make sure that they know that you trust and believe in them, at that point is where they're going to trust and believe in you, and they'll go wherever you send them to go. They will build whatever you want them to build if they know that you trust and believe that they're capable of doing it. And I'm more of a leader from the heart. Again, I got a lot of technique, we got a lot of skills, and a lot of people have a lot of that. But at heart, you know, you have to make a connection to people. And since we are beings that need to make connections to people, it's important that we connect first by the heart. So I encourage everybody that's out there, all of you are biz leaders, connect to the heart, connect to where it is that you at heart want to be. Find your tribe, forgive, focus, fly.
I love it. If people want to find Car Guy Coffee, where do they go? How do they get you?
You can check us out on Facebook, LinkedIn. Just type in Car Guy Coffee Podcast. You're going to find us. You can go to carguycoffee.store and get you some of these. Get you some nice hat, get you some nice bags, some mugs, and other cool things that just show people that you're brewing solutions. Eventually, there will be an actual coffee brand, but it's got to be the
premium. It's got to be the premium coffee.
Right.
We can't sacrifice the little luxuries of life anymore. Thank you so much for being on our show. Listen, guys, like, subscribe, share out to your friends, whatever you got to do. Please give us some love. We appreciate it. If you'd like to be a guest on Car Biz Leaders Live, just private message me through Facebook and I will get right back to you, get you scheduled on here. Let's share the love. Let's keep helping people out there. Let's keep making everybody money. Let's keep everything positive. And if this guy hasn't given you enough love and positivity, I don't know what to tell you. I learned so many great things. I got my favorites of today's show, and you'll see me write notes too. The biggest room is a room for improvement, guys, and we all got to look at ourselves every day in the mirror because that's the only thing that we really have control over. So, if you have a chance to, help us out and be a part of this show, we would really appreciate it. Once again, like and subscribe, and thanks again for joining us during Car Biz Leaders Live. Lou, you are great.
Thank you so much.
You're the bomb, dude. I appreciate you.
Get you some of the Car Guy Coffee Podcast. Come on. You need that energy? Get you some. I'm out. Are we gone?